Hey guys, I'm Nisa Homey and today I'm sharing naturally fermented millet dosa and idli batter recipe without using rice. The high fiber in foxtail millet will help to keep you feel fuller for a longer time and thus helps in weight loss and weight management. This fermented batter can be used to make soft, spongy idlis, crispy dosas and soft set dosa. A very versatile millet batter recipe. So let's get started with the recipe. To make foxtail millet dosa and idli batter, into a bowl I'm adding in 2 cups of foxtail millet, also known as thena. Foxtail millet is one of the oldest cultivated crops. Foxtail millet is highly nutritious and should be included in your family's diet. It's a good source of fiber and calcium. It has low glycemic index, it is gluten-free, it is high in antioxidants and also a natural source of vitamin D. Foxtail millet is a highly nutritious millet and it is completely gluten-free. So that is 2 cups of foxtail millet. Into this I'm adding in half cup urad dal, 1 heaped tablespoon methi seeds, also known as fenugreek seeds. I'm adding in some water. I'm going to wash and rinse the millet and dal a couple of times or until the water runs clear. Once rinsed, add in some more water and allow it to soak for about 6 to 7 hours. When you are using millets, a minimum of 6 hours of soaking is very important. Millets contains phytic acid, which is a nutrient inhibitor. So longer soaking is needed to release the phytic acid content, which will help in better nutrient absorption. So I'm going to soak it for about 6 to 7 hours. Okay, now it's about 7 hours and the millet has soaked really well. So I'm going to wash and rinse it a couple of times and then I'm going to add it into my blender jar. I'm adding in the soaked and rinsed millet and dal into the blender jar. When you're using millets, it's very important that you soak the millets for at least 6 hours. Into this I'm adding in 1 1/4 cup of water. Add in pink Himalayan salt as needed and I'm going to blend this to a fine batter. Pour the blended millet batter into a bowl. You may have noticed that I did not use any cooked rice or soaked poha while grinding the batter. Usually cooked rice or soaked poha is added into the batter when it is being ground to help with the fermentation process. Now to help with the fermentation process, I am mixing it with my hand so that the wild yeast in my hand gets into the batter and helps with the fermentation process. So this is going to be a naturally fermented millet dosa and idli batter. Now since we soaked the millet for a longer time, that also will help in easy fermentation. And remember to do this process of mixing it with your hand when you're making this, as the wild airborne yeast in your hand will get into the batter when you're doing this, and that also will help in easy fermentation. Fermented foods are a good source of vitamin B12 and also helps in better digestion. Always try to include fermented foods in your diet, especially fermented millets. And the best way to include fermented millets in your diet is through dosa or idlis. So I'm going to do this process for about a minute or two, and when you're doing it, take some batter in your hand and just squeeze it like this. Again, take some batter in your hand and squeeze like this. Take some batter and squeeze like this. With this batter, you can make soft, spongy idlis, crispy dosas, soft dosa, set dosa. It will be a very versatile batter once it has been fermented. And now I'm going to cover it with a lid. And note that I'm not using a tight lid, as we need the wild airborne yeast to help with the fermentation process. So do not cover it with a tight lid. And now I'm going to allow it to ferment overnight or for about 8 to 10 hours. Now I'm doing this process at night as the this is going to be the next day's breakfast. If you're planning to make this for dinner, make sure that you soak the millets overnight and then grind it in the morning and keep it to ferment so that you can have this for dinner. So now I'm going to allow it to ferment overnight, and the next day morning, that is after about 8 hours, you can see that the batter has nicely fermented. See how airy the fermented batter is. So this fermented batter is a good source of vitamin B12, which is an issue with those with health issues like thyroid and PCOS. So try to include naturally fermented millets in your diet for your better health. And now I'm going to show you how to make soft idlis with this batter, and also how to make crispy dosas. I have already greased my idli molds with wood pressed sesame oil, and into this I'm adding in 1 ladleful of the batter. See how airy this fermented batter is. Remember, I did not use any cooked rice to help with the fermentation process. To make idlis, I am heating my steamer. That is, once steam starts to come, then place the idli mold onto the steamer and cover it with the lid and let it steam for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the idlis are done. Okay, now let's check on the idli. You can see that the idlis has risen really well. I'm going to allow it to cool down and then remove it from the mold. To make dosa, I am heating my cast iron tawa and I am greasing it with wood pressed gingerly oil. Gingerly oil is also known as til oil or sesame oil. And once the tawa is heated, reduce the flame to the lowest. Pour in 1 to 1.5 ladleful of the dosa batter and spread it out as thinly as possible. Drizzle in a little bit of desi ghee. Now if you're a vegan, you can use any wood pressed oil of your choice instead of desi ghee. But the addition of a good source of healthy fat like desi ghee or wood pressed oils are a must to help with better assimilation of fat soluble vitamins. Also remember to use a cast iron cookware, as cooking in cast iron helps in better iron absorption. So if you have iron deficiency anemia, do try to cook at least one of your meal in a cast iron cookware for better iron absorption. If your cast iron cookware is well seasoned, then the dosa will not stick to the tawa. Since my cast iron tawa is well seasoned, you can see that the dosa is not sticking to the tawa. And once the dosa starts to get crisp and is lightly roasted, I am flipping it over. About a minute later, flip it over again and you can serve this crispy foxtail millet dosa with sambar or chutney of your choice. Repeat the same thing to make the next dosa. 1 to 1.5 ladleful of the batter. Drizzle in little bit of desi ghee for that healthy fat for better assimilation of fat soluble vitamins, and allow it to get roasted on one side and then flip it over. With this batter, you can also make soft spongy dosas like set dosa, or you can make uttappams with this. So this is a very versatile fermented batter recipe, and this batter will stay good in the fridge for about 3 to 4 days. Little planning of making dosa batter will help to get breakfast for the next couple of days sorted. You can make idlis on Monday, crispy dosas on Tuesday, and soft spongy dosas on Wednesday. And if there is still batter left on Thursday, you can make uttappams. Now some people don't like to flip the dosa over once it is roasted. It's just a matter of personal preference. And my crispy foxtail millet dosa is ready to serve. Today I am serving the crispy dosa with sambar. The idli is soft and spongy. So guys, do try this recipe and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.